Hey there, hi there, ho there, as JJ says in the chat room. Welcome to Meach's Musings here on the Jeff Meach Network and throughout the Multiverse of Media. It is Monday, August 5th? Yes, August 5th, 2024. It is already August. I can't believe it's a thing. What are we going to muse about? Well, it's going to be a shorter outing today, Mr. Williams, because we are just about 27 minutes. We'll call it that. 27 minutes away from our coverage of tonight's SummerSlam Fallout episode of Monday Night Raw. We'll be going live, of course, at the bottom of the hour with our team. Noah and JJ will be on the call for the first hour, which apparently Raw is commercial free for the first hour tonight. God help the viewing audience. And then we'll have Walter join us for hour 2, and then he and Noah will close out the show for hour 3. So there's your little programming update for you. Matt, good to see you as well. Thank you, sir. And yes, please, everybody, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, do all the things that we ask you to do every single week throughout the Multiverse of Media. Eddie, of course, thank you for your, I like to call the Daily 5 now. I feel like I'm at the California Lottery office, the Daily 5 for Mr. Burton. So thank you for that, sir. We kind of went over everything that I would normally go over on Musings this last Saturday on Open Mic Night following SummerSlam because it was such a big deal. Lots of stuff scheduled to go down on Raw. We'll hear from the new world champion, the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, after his defeat of Damian Priest, thanks to the machinations of one Finn Balor. Curious if we're going to hear from him. Of course, they'll probably talk about what's going on with Liv Morgan, the women's world champion, and Dominic Mysterio and his complete and utter betrayal of his mommy. So that we'll see what happens there. We've got Dakota Kai scheduled, taking on Sonya Deville. We've got a couple different tag matches. Awesome Truth taking on get there in a minute. Waller and Theory, which I thought Waller and Theory were SmackDown guys. But anyway, what do I know about the brand split? LOL. Authors of Pain will be taking on the New Day. We got a lot of cool stuff coming on. Let me see, just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Sheamus versus the returning Ludwig Kaiser. And of course, we'll hear more about the fallout between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre after SummerSlam. And of course, the Wyatt Six will make their in-ring debut tonight as they take on Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. It's gonna be one of those jam-packed Monday Night Raws that you just have to just kind of see to believe here. Yes, Don did all for the Nuggies, no doubt about it. Matthew, absolutely. It has to be, right? It has to be for the Nuggies and for Liv. Let's see. Adam, according to Pierce, it's special treat down. Oh, okay. It's special trade. Aha. Okay, well, there you go. Well, I mean, after what we saw at SummerSlam, it did not surprise me. I don't know if we'll get any debuts or return for NXT. I do know NXT is on week 2 at the Great American Bash. So we'll definitely be looking forward to the call for that tomorrow night. It'll also be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, excuse me. We'll be on the air with Stepway Sports Bar as well tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. So we'll be going live well before NXT gets underway. We'll also have coverage Dynamite that wasn't originally in the cards for this week. but with them adding Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett for that show, we're definitely checking it out. We'll also be watching Collision on Saturday prior to open mic night, including the Texas Death Match between Thunder, and it might be a Texas strap match. I can't remember. DJ told me on the phone, so forgive me if I'm getting the verbiage wrong there. But Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa will be going one-on-one on Collision, so we'll be checking that out. We'll also be doing our usual watch-along of Impact with this new partnership with relationship with NXT. And because it is a SummerSlam fall, we'll also be watching this week's SmackDown at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And yes, I do want to point it out. It wasn't a super chat, but I do want to shout out to our friends at NoDQ.com and the NoDQ Review. They'll be going live tomorrow night as well. So be ready to have dueling screens if you're going to be watching all of our content throughout the NoDQ Galaxy and the Multiverse of Texas Bull Roar match. Okay, that's why it dinged, because it's a road family tradition, baby. And we know Thunder Rosa and the American Dream and the grandson of a plumber, Dustin Rhodes, are close. So Thunder Rosa and Deonna will be going at it tomorrow on Saturday for Collision. So we'll be watching that. We'll, of course, have open mic night as we do every Saturday. So be looking for that. I have no doubt that topics will arise for open mic night. I'll also be bringing back Ask Me Anything for this week once again. I will be fielding questions. I would very much like to field questions, as a matter of fact. However, in the event that I get a light load, as I did last week, which I'm not going to lie, kind of was a bummer. I thank Big G and James for the questions prior to the show going live, and of course the questions that came in during. But we have a lot to talk about in the history of wrestling for August 9th, which is this Friday's date. So, and then Thursday, of course, the dads, Always on Wrestling, is back as we present our list of the top 10 songs performed by the Monkees, and that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, well before all our coverage of Impact for this week. So yeah, as ever, we have a packed week. I did say on social media, it is our busiest week, I believe, since WrestleMania. We've got 12 streams, including this one, in the next 6 days, including today. So it is, as my least favorite Brooklyn-based announcer would say, it's a rocket buster of a week. So stay tuned in, everybody. So Fat, good to see you. And G, you are more than welcome. Josh is here. So I clicked and I looked up and I clicked on Josh. Hello, Josh. It was cool to have you pop in during the streams last weekend. So thank you for being part of it. And it's cool that you and Noah got to meet up and do the dining thing. He said, thanks everyone for letting me call Gunther's. Thanks again for letting me call Gunther's match, Bachelor Limit Special. Yes, it was very cool. We have new champions, a lot, abundant, if you will, in WWE. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther. We have a new Intercontinental Champion in Braun Breaker, a new U.S. Champion in L.A. Knight. Yeah, we've got a new set of SmackDown Tag Team Champions after this last Friday's episode with the Bloodline claiming their hold on the titles by defeating DIY. And Nia Jax is a new women's champion on SmackDown with Tiffany Stratton lurking, even though she is the princess to Nia being queen of the ring. So we'll see how that plays out. And yes, the tribal chief has returned from his own self-imposed exile, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from him this Friday, which is a big reason why we are doing a watch along on SmackDown on Friday. So again, all the things on tap this week for Monday Night Raw, which is why we're doing this, and Friday Night SmackDown. So everybody stay tuned for that. Yeah, 4 title changes on a single PLE. That doesn't happen a whole lot in WWE these days. So it's pretty cool to have the Multiverse of Media be part of that. So I thank everybody at WWE that had a hand in the creative process and the output of Saturday's presentation, because it was really cool to have that kind of pay-per-view PLE, to call. And again, we're going live here in just about 20 minutes, give or take, with Monday Night Raw. So we won't go too long here on Musings, but I did want to point out a couple of things. It was announced officially that NXT will be debuting on the CW, and that'll be on October 1st. So we will have our NXT watch along, but it'll be now with the TV feed being provided, of course, by their new home on the CW. I didn't have a chance to Meachimize these graphics yet, but I do want to talk about them because they are low-key pissing me off. So bear with me here. There we go. There. Not so much the second one, and we'll want to talk about that one first, since I just realized I made that mistake in speaking. So, as I said, NXT is going to be live October 1st on CW, which they have their own app. So you don't have to use YouTube TV, Sling, whatever. So if you want to shed those like Big G, you are finally able to do so. But JJ brought these to my attention over the weekend, and I do want to address them because every time I think I'm going to be able to give the folks at TK Promotions a bit of leeway, yeah, it doesn't happen. So at its core, I don't have a problem with AEW Dynamite airing on a Tuesday. I would actually be less surprised if they put it on October 1st to directly compete with the debut of NXT on the CW. But they're calling it Title Tuesday, and they're making a big deal about it, and they are going to go against NXT. My issue with this graphic is not the fact that Swerve Strickland is prominent. He's a world champion. He should be. My problem is not that Darby Allin is featured, very boisterously here. He's a fan favorite in a town AEW. It's the fact that Bryan Danielson is featured on the graphic in wrestling mode. So, again, I don't have a problem with promoting Bryan Danielson. I don't have a problem ever promoting Bryan, right? That's a friend of the channel. That's our buddy. We love Bryan around here. But if he is going to be in Spokane, Washington in a wrestling capacity, how are we supposed to have any belief in what happens at Wembley on the 25th? He's wrestling what could be a career-ending match for him, but he's going to be in Spokane in wrestling gear. Okay. How about we not advertise stuff like that until we get through a storyline that we're trying to drive on television? Maybe that's just me. They also announced this last weekend that the 5th anniversary of Dynamite will be on Wednesday, October 2nd in Britsburg, PA. So I heavily expect more than one of our own to be at that show. I would be there if I could be, considering Brit's going home, and there's some Big G, of course, up there. Greg Cherry, of course, in the area. So I hope that both of them get to go out and check out the 5th anniversary of Dynamite. Again, that's Wednesday, October 2nd. We will be having our coverage of that, so fear not. Yeah, a couple of good points here about the first graphic. Let me go ahead and do that. There's also no titles on that graphic. Granted, Swerve is the champion. We know he's a champion. MJF is the America's champion, or whatever the hell they're calling the international title right now. So it's implied Title Tuesday, just like the Battle of the Belts. I think this gives away the world title. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. There's too much on that graphic that either are all complete red herrings, some are complete red herrings, or it's just stupid. But anyway, so yeah, JJ sent me that. I just went, holy God. So, again, more, see, he's already thinking about it. There you go. Just more, I don't want to say dumb fucker, because I don't think it's dumb to try to, make the audience choose. It has worked in the past. I don't think it'll work in Tony Khan's favor to go up against NXT. It is a hot brand. They are moving to a new network, so I don't think it's necessarily the best idea. But again, I'm not sitting there in his office in Jacksonville calling the plays. So whatever the crazy curly-haired man has in his mind, we will see it play out in October when Title Tuesday goes up against Week 2 of NXT and the CW. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just do my thing and get set up here, but please don't go anywhere. If you're watching on the Multiverse of Media, please tune in at the bottom of the hour, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, for our coverage of Monday Night Raw. Again, reminder, Monday Night Raw is still on Sci-Fi due to the coverage of the Olympics being across the NBC Universal brands. So if you are going to watch the TV feed with us, and we do encourage that. By the way, we definitely encourage you guys to watch the shows along with us, as we're calling them. It will be on Sci-Fi tonight if you are watching in the United States, because the Olympics are a thing. That's it for me. Thank you guys for watching my ever so brief. That is your opinion, Josh, and I don't disagree with it personally. I am watching the Olympics as we go along here, but I'm also a wrestling podcaster guy. So there you go. There is that. Thank you all for watching today. We'll be back here in just a few minutes, bottom of the hour, with our coverage of Raw across every channel you're watching this on. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a short for Monday Night Raw. Until then, have a good night. We'll see you in just a few.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.